The thing about a heart, it's not a shelf item. You don't know if you're going to get it next week, next month, or 6 months.
About 20 years ago, I was standing in my father's driveway, and all of a sudden he started looking off into space, leaning on the car, and then slowly slumping down and falling on the concrete. And fortunately, because I had been working with Scouts on the Emergency Preparedness Merit Badge and trained them all in CPR, I immediately fell into a position of CPR, and I saved my father's life.
Without the education of stroke awareness and early intervention, I wouldn't be here today.
At 33 years old, I had a stroke. Thanks to the education of the American Heart and Stroke Association, my friend recognized the signs of early stroke.
The American Heart Association has made a difference for me and my family.
AHA has made a real difference to me.
The American Heart Association has made a difference to me.
The American Heart and Stroke Association has made a real difference to me.
The research that the American Heart Association Help funds changes the lives of my patients every single day. In September of 1987, the FDA approved the first statin for treatment of patients with coronary artery disease. This was done with significant help of the American Heart Association. This class of medication has significantly impacted the natural history of coronary heart disease, not only in our country, but worldwide.
The greatest medical advancement that we have seen over the last 30 years really is the innovation through telemedicine and the ability to reach out to partners in other communities that did not have those resources and didn't have physicians readily available. And speaking of that, Dr. Okon. Hello, Dr. Okon. We were talking about the greatest advances in the last 30 years.
The greatest advancement clearly is telemedicine. The ability for stroke physicians like myself to be able to beam in or connect into a room to a patient that needs your help at a time where it's critical, and previously they didn't have that opportunity.
There is a new technology called transcatheter aortic valve replacement. It is a new procedure that can treat aortic stenosis, where we could implant an artificial heart valve by going up the artery to the legs with less invasiveness to the patient.
I've been practicing cardiology for about 15 to 20 years now. Probably the greatest milestone I've seen in the first half of my career was the stents. When stents came along, we were able to take angioplasty, which is a procedure that would fail half the time in opening up an artery, and include these stents where now we have a 98% success rate in opening up the arteries. It's a much better technology, and there are millions of people in this country that have benefited from that.
In the last 30 years, I think there's been three things. One, the advent of STEMI centers. The second is the advent of stroke centers. And third, and just as important, the continuation of research and work that has been done with CPR in communities and supporting citizens in recognition of what emergent situations are and what to do about those emergent situations.
I'm looking forward to the next milestone that's going to guide the last half of my career, where we can really personalize care, continue to improve the lives of these patients with coronary disease. Literally everything I do, taking care of a patient with heart attacks, heart failure, fatal heart rhythms, started somewhere with research. And that starts with the AHA. That starts with bench research, laboratory research, down in the mud kind of research that proves that the therapy I give a patient will actually do the patient some good.
If I had a wish for the Heart Association, Stroke Association to commit resources towards, it would be some augmented, remote thrombectomy procedure.
In the future, my wish would be to continue with the advancement in the technology so we could provide more patient care in a less invasive manner to treat various conditions.
I've been lucky enough to be with the American Heart Association and Stroke Association for 26 years now. In those years, I have seen so many exciting advancements that research has made possible. I've seen stroke go from number 3 killer to number 5 killer. I've seen us launch Go Red for Women campaign that have saved thousands of lives. Medical advancements are made possible by research, and research always seems so abstract. Yet research really comes back down to the community level in the everyday care of ourselves and in the care that the doctors give us. It takes a collaboration in our community to save lives, and I am proud to say that we have great collaboration in Northern Nevada. We are together going to make a difference.
My grandmother was 52 when she had a stroke, and my grandfather was 56 when he had a heart attack. That's why I became involved in the Heart Association and trying to do whatever little part that I could do to help the cause.
We're making such great progress across the United States, and the funding is so important to make sure all these doctors that are out there that want to go and do studies and make it better, they need the resources, and so we're providing that to them, and we're making great strides in saving people's lives.
For everyone that's here this evening, I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being here, supporting the American Heart Association and supporting this function. I would ask that at this time, enjoy your evening, but with that enjoyment also think about the work that the American Heart Association does, the importance of that work, and how that work helps all of us within our community take care of everyone. And have a good evening.